So a while back, I wanted to make a Crystalized review. I wanted to make a big video for myself on why Crystalized didn't work for me personally and why it just makes me really upset. But I don't want to anymore. I think it would just make me more upset or more just tired if I made a whole video on it. It's just exhausting, and I think I'm going to leave it as is because we have Dragons Rising now, and I do like the direction where that season is going. And I don't want to be too negative at this point in time. Now, I did actually get a lot done on this. In fact, I have about 35 minutes of it done. So, I might upload certain parts of that to YouTube. This video being one of those parts. This is me going over all of the positives of Ninjago Crystalized. Everything that I liked about it. This could be anywhere from very minuscule details that I liked to major plot of character stuff that I was a big fan of. Now, even though I don't like Crystalized, there is an awful lot to like about it. This doesn't show everything that I like about it, but it definitely shows some of the standout parts of it to me. I hope you enjoy this. And let's go.
The premiere is awesome, and while being a repeat of the invitation, I absolutely love how the ninja handle the grief of Nia. And in fact, I will say that it does it better than the invitation. The invitation is a great episode, but 2 of the 3 ninja that leave the team only leave the team because they hate each other, not because of Zane. Kai is the only one that actually gets proper grief. While it is great, Farewell to Sea does a much better job in my opinion, even though I don't think the ninja should have split up in the first place, except for Zane. I do like how each 5 of the ninja represent the 5 stages of grief, in a way. Zane turning off his emotions is really impactful, and we will get to that later. Kai leaving the team to teach other students how to properly handle villains to make sure this doesn't happen again is really strong for Kai and something that definitely should have been expanded upon. Jay leaving because of course Nia meant everything to him, and he actually just doesn't know how to function without Nia because he has become way too attached to Nia is something the season should have called out a lot more, but I like how they handle it in the premiere episode. Lloyd having too much pressure and not wanting this leadership role anymore is also very strong and very in line with his character, as we have seen in other seasons, and I'm really happy that this was able to take center stage in at least the premiere episode, and again, I wish we got more of it. Cole being the one to group everyone back together is so strong, and it is a perfect continuation of his character from Master of the Mountain, how he is the foundation of the team and he keeps everyone grounded and he keeps everyone together, and he is continuing his promise to keep going. The Call of Home is an absolute masterpiece of an episode, and in its own bubble is probably objectively one of the best episodes of the entire series, and definitely one of the best Nia episodes. Nia is absolutely amazing in this, how she is able to try and break free from the ocean, and I love how Nia is what Nia was slowly becoming, slowly losing all sort of identity and losing, well, Nia. Nia stands up for this, and she stands up for her own identity. She makes her own choice on what she wants to do. She makes the choice to come back. And this is more of the Nia that I wanted to see throughout this entire season. I love how Nia is the one to start up the plan to bring her back. It gives her some sort of agency in this sort of season. And I wish that she had more to play in this part of the season, but I'm happy that she is the one that starts it. The new ninja are very fun and they get way too much hate. People hate them because they stopped the ninja and they put them in prison and they are doing a better job than the ninja. Even though the ninja literally broke the law, breaking a terrorist out of prison. Like, the new ninja are doing their job. And, oh, they're annoying. The current ninja we have are the definition of annoying. I don't see how this is a problem with the new ninja. The fandom loves to antagonize them so badly. It is really, really weird. I love them, they're very fun. Yellow Ninja, my beloved. Asphira is absolutely awesome in this season. I absolutely love her return, and I love the role she plays in part 1 at least. I love her dynamic with Wu. She is so butthurt and upset about the past events of season 11, and still of course the events of Never Trust a Human. That whole competition where it's just dumb tasks with Wu is so funny to watch as she treats them all really seriously when Wu is just done with everything. I also love her little scene with Lloyd, how Lloyd keeps his promise, and when Asphira brings back Nia, Lloyd sets Asphira free, which shows his promise was real, and it does speak volumes to Asphira how someone actually kept their word. I really wish we got more out of this. This was seriously awesome. I absolutely love Asphira in part 1. Really, really well done. I love how the ninja are content with going to prison at first, because they did all this for Nia. They don't care what happens to them, because Nia is back now, and that's all that was important to them. It is such a sweet scene, and just shows how far the ninja are willing to go for each other. I know we already know that, but this was just really nice to see. I love this. All the council invitations are so good. The setup of the Council of the Crystal King is so hyped, and it's handled so well, and it gets you really excited seeing these returning villains get recruited one by one for this big council, for this big season. It's seriously incredible to watch, and it's handled so well. The Ninja Prison arc is so much better than Skybound, at least at first. It is way more interesting as they have actually broken the law and done something terrible, and they deserve consequences. This leads you to be conflicted. Of course, the ninja wanted to bring back Nia, and after everything Nia has done, it is only fair to bring her back. But you have to understand that the ninja broke a dangerous terrorist out of prison, and now she is free, able to cause more trouble, which she does, and they also put several civilians' lives in danger during the heist. So yes, getting 5 years was very lenient for them. This arc is definitely very interesting as you are very conflicted on who to root for, because they're both sides have compelling arguments. Lloyd's introduction to the Kabuki mask is seriously well done and is one of the best animated sequences of the series, with all the camera work, the shots, just everything about it is so good, and the scene is so chilling as well. Nia going back to her Samurai X role, which was taken away from her years ago, is such a good follow-up on her losing all of her identity by becoming the ocean. How she is able to get back her own true identity, which she made for herself all the way back in season 1. Well, it is good in concept. Darth is actually seriously great in this season. I believe that from series 6 onwards, Darth is just not a really good character. He's really creepy, misogynistic for some reason, and just loses the appeal of Darth. Here in the season, he is a great ally to the ninja, being their lawyer and able to break them out of prison, and he has some actual funny moments, and he's not misogynistic or creepy. He's really good this season, and I do like him a lot. The Benefit of Grief is a really sweet episode and is one of the only parts of the season I actually felt had real meaning. Sally is a really good character, and how she ran away from home to pursue her dream at such a young age in a bit of a in the heat moment, and how she really feels guilty and wants to go back, is her emotions telling her to go home. And Zane having this message how she needs to go home and listen to her emotions, and that all emotions are important and all emotions are valid, is an extremely strong message to say that even your bad emotions, even your negative emotions, are just as important as your positive ones, and you need to take them into account as well. Which causes Zane to reflect on himself and is able to turn back his emotion meter on, which is really sweet. Really sweet episode, and genuinely nice that Zane had this little arc of his, and it is the first proper development he's had in years and years. The mechanic is so awesome in this half of the season. Him joining the council is a perfect continuation of his rise up the ranks, starting from a thug, able to make his own plan in his own season, to then becoming a higher up on the council of literally the embodiment of darkness itself, is so awesome. His characterization is so sick in this first half. I absolutely love this continuation of his story. The reveal of Harumi is genuinely terrifying and puts you on the edge of your seat. It is so well done how Lloyd is surrounded by so many of his greatest villains, but the main one shows up to haunt him once again. Extremely chilling scene. I absolutely love it a lot. Despite not liking the return of Harumi at all, I absolutely love her backstory ep, how it really ties everything in this era together and furthers the point that the greatest villain is the one you never knew was there in the first place. The flashback of Lloyd going back to save Harumi is one of his best scenes and is actually really heartbreaking. The fact that even after everything Harumi has done to Lloyd, ruining his life and causing him so much trauma for seasons after the Oni trilogy, the fact that he still went back for her after defeating Garmadon in Green Destiny, hoping that she was still alive. Just is so painful to watch that he genuinely felt some sort of care even after everything Harumi does. It really shows how affected Lloyd was by all of this. Oh, it's just so heartbreaking. Jay being geeky over trains is so sweet to see and makes so much sense for his personality about his inventor side that gets ignored a lot. Genuinely one of my favorite Jay moments in recent years. The council interactions are seriously enjoyable to watch. I cannot get enough of any of these idiots interacting with each other. Vangelis and Asphira are an absolute highlight, both being fallen kings and queens of their own respective kind. The way they bounce off is just so funny. Pythor and Asphira is another big one. Pythor and the mechanic, just all of them are so... It's so good watching them bounce off each other. I really, really wish we got more of them. Mini pics. Full stop. The shot of Harumi talking about the Great Devourer and Pythor just being in the background not saying anything is really funny to me. I like this shot a lot. Lloyd running away from the council is an intense and fun scene to watch with the animation. Lloyd versus Mr. F is definitely a highlight. Lloyd's face seeing his family are still alive is so sweet and pure. I love that so much. God, I love this face. The paper boys come back, let's go! The reveal of Garmadon is so hilarious, and the editing adds to the humor as well with the long pause and the dramatic zoom in on Lloyd's face. Garmadon and Vinny are such a delight to watch. The fact that Garmadon is able to find the true meaning of life, the true meaning of humanity, just from a random, nothing, normal civilian is so smart. What's the best way to get the true meaning of life? It's to just take any ordinary person's perspective on life, on their daily life. It's so powerful, and is much more powerful than it being any of the ninja, or even Lloyd. So I absolutely love that. Garmadon as a whole this season is handled fairly well as well. Not my favourite interpretation of Garmadon, but he is definitely fairly solid in this season. Wu versus the Overlord is an absolutely stellar fight and is one of the best fights I have seen in animation, period. The Overlord launching this massive beam over the city as he gets his full power together is genuinely awesome and threatening. Such a cool and chilling scene. I love the whole concept of all the ninja being split up in the biggest attack they've ever seen and having to try and get back together somehow in order to defeat it, while also recruiting old allies for the team along the way for this final battle. It is a seriously neat concept, and it gives us a chance to see everyday citizens' reactions to this massive end-of-the-world situation. Only major issue is that it takes up too much time in the season and doesn't bring any important character moments. But a really good concept. I like the idea of this a lot. I am skipping this episode. Garmadon showing genuine concern for Lloyd is really sweet here. And Hound Dog still trying to arrest the ninja is seriously great. I love it, especially in this situation. Especially since Garmadon is right there. I do like that this season has meaningful follow-up to each story in the absolute worst, with the mechanic trying to get after Nia, Fugidove taking a liking to Jay, and Ultraviolet helping out Zane. Safe haven. Safe haven. Just safe haven. Just safe haven in general. Just safe haven. Skylar calling out Kai for how they really just do not have a relationship at all is a very strong realization and is really what these two needed. It is definitely a wake-up call for the both of them. Pixel's dialogue in this scene is genuinely beautiful and really well written, and even though it is obvious that it is a fake-out death, you can't help but feel emotional over her speech, and especially her scream of joy when she realizes Zane is alive. The core mech is awesome. I'm so happy we got that in this season. Blazy changing her name is so awesome of her. Absolute trans icon. I love how Blazy gets a lead role in an ep. No matter the quality of the ep, I absolutely love Blazy with all my heart, as she is one of my favourite side characters of all time, and she absolutely slays in this episode with her anti-gravity driving. Cole's speech to Vanya is very sweet, how he calls back to their last moment in Master of the Mountain. Lloyd saying Garmadon has a moment of compassion is a really sweet moment. In a bubble anyways, separate from the rest of the episode. The dragon form being possible by jumping up, kicking back, whipping around and spinning is so stupid and dumb. I absolutely love that idea. Zane vs Mr. F is pretty cool. Cole and Vangelis' dialogue is seriously great. Sadly, this is only for one scene though, but still fairly good. Garmadon's last scene in Roots is really nice and ties up his character very well. And yeah, that's about it for all of my positives throughout this season. Yeah.